You wasting your money on all these YouTube gimmicky promo fights? We don't think you should be.
I'm Jupe. This is Hempy. Welcome back to ByteSized Talks.
All right, man. So obviously, it's become a bigger thing for all these YouTubers, or not all these YouTubers, but like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI to be
KSI.
to be having these fights, and I mean, one we can at least say they're fighting fighters now.
Sort of, yeah.
Right? Like,
so they're fighting
because like the first one, I remember the first Logan Paul fight I can think of is when he fought Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
You know, who was a basketball player.
Yeah.
And like now they're fighting people, but they're not. They're not. We should say boxing. Be more specific. They're boxing. People who were in large part fighters.
They're fighters, but they're not very what'd you call it? Very good at boxing. They're that's not what they're known for.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Well, that's because like fighting nowadays. I think if we were to look back 50 years ago, who's the best fighter? It would have been a boxer.
Yeah.
Right? Like it would have been whoever was at the top, Sugar Ray Leonard or something like that. Like,
yeah,
it would have been a boxer, pound for pound, best fighter in the world. But due to the involvement of the UFC mainly, I think maybe not most notably, fighting now is a mixture of martial arts. It's jiu-jitsu, it's boxing, it's kickboxing, it's probably some karate, or like I don't know how much karate, that kind of more of a Hollywood martial art, but it's a number of different techniques now. Wrestling, grappling, that makes a fighter. You can't just be good at one thing anymore. This isn't like one of my favorite movies of all time, which is, it's so bad, but it's so good. Bloodsport. No. I do love Kung Fu Panda. Like, no, there's a 1980. I think it came out 88. 1988. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Bloodsport. Dude, such a fun. Like, that's one of those movies that like has just a special place with me. It's so like the score is so bad. There's this random cat noise they put in everywhere. Yeah, like it's just in the background while these guys are like fighting, and it's like supposed to be like this underground, no holds bar, full contact.
Yeah,
it's such a like 80s great fight movie. But I digress. But yeah, so now to be a fighter, you have to know how to strike, how to grapple, how to choke out, how to defend, all that. Like you have to have a whole bag, an assortment of knowledge. Which is, again, a relative last 20 years that's taken over from boxing, because it used to be like, hey, a great boxer, he knows how to move his feet, like he's not going to get caught by a wrestler. And like now we know that's not true. Like a boxer would never want to fight. You take the best boxer in the world, Tyson Fury, you're not going to put him against, like if it was like a full just, hey, go type of fight, John Jones is going to murder him, literally murder him.
Oh yeah, dude, Anderson Silva on his prime, holy shit. Dude, Anderson Silva could kick you from so far away, you couldn't even see that coming.
Yeah, and just the creativity of it too, so yeah, like these. Here's the thing. I think if you're buying into the plots of these YouTube fights, and I'm not saying they're not real fights in the sense that like I'm not gonna say that they're scripted, like because I don't think like certain people would want to be knocked out. For the sake of it, but like if you're into it, like just lean in a little bit harder and find your way to like wrestling, like WWE, like wrestling, like
that's what I was gonna compare it to. Is WWE, obviously it's scripted, and it's one of those things to where it's the most fake fighting you could see. Obviously, they're athletic. Obviously, they can do these different moves, and you have to be physically fit for them. But it's still scripted.
Yeah, like I mean, they
And
are taking hits. Some of the hits are real, like it is
yeah,
pain that they put themselves through. It is a performance, but at the end of it, somebody's calling the shot saying, "Hey, so and so needs to beat you." He's beating
yeah,
you tonight. Then we'll run it back in like 2 weeks, and you'll have it. We'll give the title back to you, and then that's gonna build it up for the huge WrestleMania.
yeah,
Like
yes.
they know how to weave a narrative with the fights, the
And
matches
that's what
rather.
I feel this YouTube fighters has turned to. You get this giant drama before the actual fight. Once the fight comes around, dude, 7 punches maybe after 18 minutes
Yeah.
of fighting. It's like what the fuck. And the worst part is that they're charging $60 for pay per view.
So I guess what Julian's alluding to is the latest fight between Logan Paul and Dillon Danis, right? Because that's
Yeah,
the most egregious, where it's like he wasn't fighting, like it was gentle. It was sparring in a
dude,
sense,
Dylan
like
Danis. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but he sold me. I was like, this dude is gonna go kill Logan Paul or whatever the Paul brother is.
yeah,
Um,
Logan.
yeah, dude, he was talking shit. He was posting on social media. Was going after his girlfriend. I was like, dude, this fucker's gonna go in there and kill Paul. Paul's gonna be pissed off. He's gonna try punching him on a knockout or something. I was sold. I was sold. And then
Yeah,
I saw the fight. I didn't pay for the fight, but I saw the highlights of it. Dude, it was
yeah.
terrible. I have the stats here.
Uh, Now, while Julian pulls that up, Dylan Danis, I believe, was at one time a world champion jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, I guess grappler, whatever you designate that as. Um, so boxing, striking was never his forte. Like that was a setup for him to go to get a takedown, get a choke, get an armbar, get a submission. Where Logan Paul, for the 4 years or however long he's been doing this, has strictly been a boxer.
Yeah.
A box like of when it came to actual combat, like his platform was boxing. It was never he was never training to do an MMA
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. So for the fight of Logan Paul and Dylan Danis, Logan Paul landed 108 punches. He threw 330 and landed 31 jabs. That's average for boxing. Dylan Danis landed 16 punches and 4 jabs and threw 70 during the whole fight. And for comparison, I mean, you look at Canelo versus Triple G. Uh, Triple G landed 218 out of 703 thrown, and Canelo landed 169 out of 505. Dude,
How many rounds was that fight?
12 rounds. And that's what I was going to say. Even if we cut that in
Okay.
half and say it's 6 rounds, because that's what they went. I think it was 6 rounds. Dude, it's so much more action than what Dylan Danis brought to the fight.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, and again, it's I think for Dylan Dennis, like I think he liked the production of it
Yeah.
and the excitement of the fight, and I think he maybe his hope, like think about it, maybe he's like, okay, if I beat him in the ring, if I fuck him up, like that's just gonna make his platform bigger. Maybe what's the biggest way to impact Logan Paul is by making a complete mockery of his production.
Yeah.
Make it to where people don't want to buy the next Prime sponsored fight.
Yeah,
Like,
and that was the thing is when the commentators were talking, it's like he just doesn't want to get knocked out, and that's the narrative he's going to run with. Is yeah, you couldn't knock me out, and that's it.
yeah. Um, and that's the thing. Like, Dylan, I don't know how much money he made from this. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Ma-
I mean, even if it's, I imagine on the low end of the deal would have been maybe like a quarter to $500,000.
Yeah,
You know, um, for him to be like, yeah, I just went in there, like, got a workout in. Like, I just kind of jogged around. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
um, um, no, like it makes you wonder like how good of a fighter Logan Paul is that he wasn't able to actually knock out somebody who wasn't punching back.
Yeah, and again, Dillon Danis was grappling him. At one point, he even tried getting a headlock on him.
Oh, that was right at the end,
Yeah,
though.
but
Right
and
at
that's
the
that's
end.
another thing I wanted to bring up. So I actually timed the fight when it said it was about to end in 30 seconds, the last round. And once the 30 seconds was up, they still allowed for another 10 seconds to go by for that round. For I'm guessing it's for that showmanship, for something wild happens, so that clickbait to happen. And I think it part of it might be scripted. I'm not sure, but it is kind of weird.
If it was this is where like regulators could step in because betting was allowed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I
like
think Drake bet
what?
$850,000 on Logan Paul.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
So he finally
he
won
won.
a bet.
Yeah.
Because normally people are like fucking Drake, stop betting on our teams. Like,
I know. I think he might have done it
oh,
that Logan Paul would get a knockout on Dillon Danis.
oh, okay. Um, because I wonder if there's like okay knockout, but like in the event of a disqualification, nobody wins the bet.
Yeah,
Like
because he got
it's kind of
disqualified.
like if you're playing roulette, like it's either red or black until it's green,
Yeah,
right? Like there's those one or two green spots on the wheel,
yeah,
and like those typically decimate everybody on the betting,
yeah,
you know. So I wonder if that's maybe something that like, hey, if it ends in a DQ, uh, our the way we have our bets made or the way we took in bets, we'll make a shit ton of money. So at the end, dude,
yeah,
like towards the end, like just try to get me in a choke and like maybe the ref wasn't on it, but like as soon as you try to choke me out, like they'll have to disqualify
yeah,
you.
yeah. Like I
Um,
said, it's weird that they went 10 seconds over in the round, and even when
yeah,
the round ended, there was still no sound of the bell. So it was
yeah.
weird. I don't know what's going on there, but it is kind of conspiracy theory type thing.
Um, you know what they should do if
What's
they
that?
just want to see who the hell could like who it's less technique, but it's like those two should have to do a slap fight.
Oh, like those contests where you just sit in front of them and just slap them, dude. That would be
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
just slap the shit
That
out of
would
the
be
next person.
amazing.
You know, they should have to do one of those on YouTube for free for everybody. Just like, yeah, okay, we know we
Yeah.
took your money. We kind of feel bad enough that we're gonna slap the shit out of each other until
Gets
one of
knocked out.
us freaking gets knocked out. Yeah,
Yeah. Again, this isn't the first time that Logan Paul's fights are have gone this way. The fights before they haven't been all that great. They haven't had all that much action. And it's just a recurring theme at this point. It's just like,
yeah.
why are you gonna buy the fight, the next fight?
Now I have heard again. I haven't watched these fights, but I heard Jake Paul's actually like not bad. Like, um,
Really?
I've heard like he of the Paul brothers, he's the better fighter. Um,
Okay.
he can actually strike like Logan. Like when I saw him, like he kind of just looks like strong guy at a bar who looks. I mean, Logan Paul looks like he could be a Marvel in a Marvel movie tomorrow. Like that dude is
Yeah.
yoked out right now. He's roided
Yeah,
out.
he's jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like he's just pumped. Um, but when he punches, like it doesn't. He just kind of has like happy hands. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would hate to get a hit from those happy hands, but like he's not driving through like like it's not the same type of punch
Oh
that
shit.
like you'd expect from a Triple G or something, right? Uh,
Dude, you see Canelo punch? I was watching a video the other day of Canelo punching some guy in the arm.
yeah,
Just the arm. Yeah, hold on. There we go. Dude, his arm at the end of the fight was just swollen.
yeah. So I think that's the thing.
Like
Like
those are punches.
Logan Paul, like again, he has the physique. He has, but he doesn't have the just that core power. Like he's missing some element of it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I hear Jake is just a kind of he has that like I mean Rogan's talked about him. That's kind of most where I've heard this from. Is like if he wasn't Jake Paul, if he was just some other guy, but like dude, he's not bad. Like he's not great. He's not going to win the world title, but like he could be on the bottom part of the card, you know, in a big
Yeah.
fight. Um, yeah, but these guys like again, there's other entertainment, and I think like Logan Paul, I've heard he's an amazing wrestler. Like he, you know, in the WWE, like he actually you know does all the acrobatics and like he's very talented in that regard. And at the end of that fight, the Dillon Danis, I saw he's like, yeah, like I just want to return to the WWE. Like that's his arena. I think he's just using this as a platform for promotion, for Prime, his stuff. Which again, like he is a YouTube hustler, one of
Yeah.
the original ones. Like, um, but yeah, I think you're better off putting if you want to see a fight, go see a fight, right? Like pay for a legit boxing match.
Yeah.
Wait till there's an MMA fight, and like you know, what's interesting, like MMA is starting. I heard Dana talking about um, that they're you know like now like I think what's his name uh Pierre George St Pierre GSP
Oh yeah.
that he's gonna start like getting into like these jujitsu tournaments now, and like those might start for the people who are into more of the ground game. Like I think like
Yeah.
there's like these little like small jiu-jitsu leagues that are starting to like get more mainstream now for which is cool because like somebody who doesn't want to do like a full fight and doesn't want to take the brain damage anymore, like they can
Yeah.
still have an audience in a crowd and a brand in a combat arena, but it's not necessarily full fledged fighting. Um,
Yeah. Now, if Logan Paul goes into WWE, I think he found his match. That's where
well,
he
he is
needs
in
to be.
that. He is in WWE.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah. Like if he goes on fully into WWE, just like full time, right, and just then doing boxing on the side and this and that, I think that's where he's supposed to be.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I think he's just one of those things that a lot of people want to punch him in the face. And I have no problems with him, but I think like he's one of those guys that like again he's kind of
Yeah.
inflammatory in the way that he kind of
Yeah.
responds to things, and uh, I don't know. We'll see. Depending on how much money Dylan Dennis got on this, because they did say if he gave all his purse money to Logan, they'd run it back in an MMA fight, which I think that would be him getting choked out in like
Oh yeah.
the first.
Oh, he's not gonna give up that money though. There's no way.
Yeah. um,
He's got a
but
lot
yeah,
of lawsuits right now.
yeah. So uh, if you're gonna buy these fights, go into it with some caution. Like just it might just be. I think they're treating this as as a money grab, and it's a quick way for these guys to make a couple $1,000,000 doing stuff that they already kind of enjoy the
Yeah.
working out and the sparring and. Um, but you know what? Let us know if you've actually enjoyed the Logan Paul fights. If it's something that you have fun with, let us know. Drop us a comment. If you made it this far, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Got
Go punch
anything
that
else?
like and subscribe button.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta go punch.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.